What is up, guys? It is Steady Chaos. So the talk around town in the LG OLED YouTube community is the 03.15.27 update that I promised you would come either late in the week or early into the weekend, and here we are. I just got it today from my LG C1. Let's talk about it. Alright, so the .27 update promises to overhaul the game optimizer system and add a game bar on the bottom of your screen when you are playing video games. It gives you useful information like whether or not you're in VRR, are you using a real-time strategy or first-person shooter preset, what your frame rate is, things like that. It's really interesting. And also, it overhauls the game optimizer menu system with different colors. Like we talked about before, you can use green, orange, or purple, which is a nice touch. Now, I should stress that I didn't receive this update over the air directly through my TV. Instead, I had to type in, you see here, LG Korea in Google. You scroll down, you click on this one, lge.com, it's in Korean. If you're using Google, you'll see here they will translate for you. See, always translate Korean to English. Click on customer support, click on driver software. Scroll down, close this, scroll down, and there it is, 03.15.27. So if you are interested in downloading it, it is right here on Korea's website. Now, I've had a lot of people, when I've made previous videos about previous firmware updates, they tell me, well, I'm not getting the firmware update over the air yet, so I'm going to wait until it's available on my region's website, you know, LG UK or LG Australia, something like that. They're afraid that if they download the firmware, say, for example, I'm in North America and I download the Korean firmware, they're afraid that somehow it's going to brick their TV or it's going to F up their TV. Well, I'm here to alleviate your fears and tell you that is not the case, at least not for me. This is like the second or third time now I've downloaded firmware from an entirely different region and had zero problems whatsoever. So, as I mentioned, I am in the Northeast United States. I went to this site, LG Korea. I downloaded .15.27 this afternoon. I downloaded it to my desktop. I extracted it. I stuck it on a USB stick. I plugged it into my TV. My TV immediately recognized the firmware, asked me if I wanted to update. I let it update. It took about 5 minutes, restarted my TV, and bam, I am good to go. So if you hold the gear button down on your LG C1 or G1 remote, you click on support. You click on software update, you see here it is, 03.15.27, and the update was entirely successful. It has not damaged my television in any way, and the game optimizer mode has been overhauled, most importantly. So without further ado, let me show you that. I just downloaded Red Dead Redemption 2 for my PC. So let's load that up. This could take a moment, bear with me. Alright, we're into Red Dead Redemption. One thing I will say about this game is about a year and a half ago I downloaded it for the PS4 Pro, and just running in 30 FPS with so many graphical compromises, I could not get into the game. I told myself, this is far too great of a game for me to waste it at 30 FPS here, so I'm going to wait until I get an RTX 3000 series card, which I got the 3080, paired up with my 3950X, and I'm going to play it on PC. And I've already tried it really quick, and I average about, I'd say 65 to 70 FPS with everything maxed out in 4K, and it is just a glorious, glorious sight to behold. In the early part of the game, it runs in the mid-50s for FPS, but that's because there's so many particle effects with the snowstorm. Alright, let's skip this so that I can get the game optimizer up for you. I can share with you my settings. There we go. So, if I were to hold down the gear button on the LG C1 remote, it brings up the picture settings menu. You can go to game optimizer that way. However, with this new .27 update, you don't have to do that anymore to get into game optimizer. And if you want to see the game bar to see what your FPS are, you just tap the gear button. So let me tap it. And there it is. We're running at 67 FPS right now. I have my black stabilizer set to 9 out of 20. I'm running in standard picture set mode. Low latency is engaged. VRR is on. And if you wanted to go to all settings, if you wanted to go to like change your brightness, your contrast, you would click on this. So click here, and it brings you to all of your picture settings. See right here, game optimizer mode. You can go into advanced settings, all that good stuff. Or if you wanted, you bring up the game bar again, and you want to go, you don't want to go into the picture settings mode, you just want to quickly run into game optimizer mode, you just go down here to the right, click on game optimizer, and bam, you are up with game optimizer in no time. So here I'm running at a 92 FPS, and here you can change all your presets, your black stabilizer levels, and I think that the orange accent is nice. It looks tasteful. You know, them redoing the interface, it looks nice. It looks more graphically pleasing. You can reduce the blue light, prevent input delay. We'll put it on boost because we are running primarily at 60 FPS, so that'll make the input lag a little lower. Game dashboard is on. AI game sound is on. VRR G-Sync is on. Fine-tune dark areas. So if you want to change the menu color, you come down here, green or violet. I like violet. Looks nice too. Can stick with that one. The interesting thing too is if you bring up the game bar again, you can click here and you can change your preset on the fly. So I'm using real-time strategy now. Now I'm using standard. Now I'm using FPS. Now I'm using RPG, and you see how it's affecting the picture quality. And it's affecting the black stabilizer preset as well. So back to, so FPS black stabilizer 15, you kind of have better visibility in the shadow areas. It's great for first person and competitive shooters like Call of Duty. RPG, it kind of brings out the colors and the contrast a little bit more for a slow-paced game where maybe you focus more on graphics. Real-time strategy looks very similar, although the stabilizer is higher at 13. And then I am in standard at 9 stabilizer. This is really all you can change in this game bar setting area here is the picture preset, and you can see your FPS. And like I said, if you have questions about how this works, or you're not quite sure what you're doing, you're brand new to it, there's a little question mark right here, and it has a little write-up, a scrolling write-up to the right here that you can see. That kind of gives you a breakdown or a description of what the game bar does and how to use it. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy overall with this game bar. I appreciate the fact that you can just quickly tap the gear and bam, you know exactly what your frames per second are. That's really nice. But anyway, guys, yeah, this is the 03.15.27 update in action on the LG C1. And I gotta say, it's a very welcome improvement for gamers. So kudos LG. And this game running right now, maxed out in native 4K, is mind-numbingly amazing. Look at how good this game looks on the C1. Holy cow. Now, I didn't put reduce blue light on, so when I record videos with my GoPro from my LG C1, if I don't have reduced blue light engaged, then the camera tends to make the TV look overly blue, which it's not, I promise you. So if I go to Game Optimizer here, and I click on Reduce Blue Light, that will look much more natural and much better coming through my camera now, I'm sure. But yeah, this game is absolutely stunning in native 4K. I don't believe I'm playing in HDR at the moment, although I've heard many people say the HDR implementation for Red Dead Redemption 2 is nothing to write home about, so I'm not all that upset about the fact that I'm not playing in HDR. Yeah, you see here, I'm definitely not playing in HDR. I'm just playing in SDR right now. So yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like, please leave a comment down below, please subscribe to the channel for more content regarding LG OLED, specifically the C1 and G1, and I will see you guys later. Peace.